Agri country venturing out now to the Century Farm of the Year here in Ohio, a project of the Ohio Department of Agriculture, the Ohio Historical Society, and our own Ohio's Country Journal. And my guests, Bill and Elizabeth Shaw. This is Bill's mother. Their farm, about 6 miles or so northwest out of Logan. We're in beautiful Hocking County, right at the intersection, and it's a busy one, of U.S. Route 33 and Route 180. Bill, this farm goes back to when?
About 169 years ago, in 1829.
And the house, beautiful house indeed, built when?
It took them 3 years to build it. They started in 1871 to 1874.
And this beautiful old bank barn built when?
Around 1875.
Elizabeth, great to see you, and congratulations. A tremendous honor. And what a beautiful farmstead this has been for so many, many years. And this house was built by who?
Abel Carpenter.
And Phoebe.
And Phoebe, yes.
And their daughter is the one that married a Shaw.
Right. That's how I got into the Shaw family.
I want to go to the top of this house. The original slate, it's still there.
It's still there, yes.
Still keeping the rain out.
Right.
Tell us about the bell tower.
Well, the bell tower is still there, and is, in fact, I can't ever remember replacing the rope. Now, Bill might know, but I think the rope is still there from long, long, long time ago.
While we're up in the top side of the house, I mean, the attic is beautiful, and this is where we see the wooden pins and the beams that is the frame for this old house.
Right.
And the attic, you tell me, is where you put a lot of those old hand tools that we saw used here at the farm years ago.
I had a lot of fun getting out in the barn, finding old tools, and putting them up in the barn to preserve them.
Elizabeth, as we come downstairs, I mean, this staircase is absolutely beautiful, and you said that you redid all of that.
I did all, in fact, I did all the wood in the house.
And we see the beautiful old spinning wheel and the cobbler's bench, and you even refurbished the piano.
Yes, the piano was the first thing on the agenda to do.
Elizabeth, how many grandchildren?
I have 15.
And a wonderful family. And you tell me that the grandchildren head right up to the attic to play.
That in the wintertime, that's their place to play. You don't know they're around, and they are so good.
Bill, let me get back to you as we go out of doors now with this beautiful farmstead, and again, the Century Farm of the Year. What a beautiful, beautiful barn. And again, the original slate roof, it's right there.
It sure is. It's still doing its job from 100 and some years ago.
How big is that barn?
Somewhere around 100 by 60.
The arch structure that we see on what I'm going to call the loafing shed of this barn, Bill, what's that all about? Any ideas? You look at the history of this old farmstead?
Just, you know, they didn't want to build a plain barn. It's beauty, it's ventilation. It sure makes people stop and look.
Talking about ventilation, something that we don't see very often, but you go up in part of the hay mow. From the outside, it looks like the open space is at least 3 feet.
Oh, yeah, that really lets the air in to dry the hay.
When we go inside and look at the structure of this barn, beautiful old beams and the wooden pegs are there. It's a wonderful tribute to our forefathers.
It certainly is. They really knew what they were doing. I'm amazed every day when I walk in there.
And then when you rake the straw back for us on the floor, sure enough, the old original planks are right there.
They sure are. They've been there a long time.
Bill, when we go down below and we're looking the opposite direction at the arches, I'm sure for you as a boy brings back a lot of memories.
Oh, stood there many, many a time.
How many acres totally in the farm now? You said, I think, 30 at the beginning, but how many total now?
176 in the homestead. We've increased that with some neighboring farms, but the original homestead is around 176.
And also, as far as you can go back, there's always been livestock on the Shaw farm?
Always been livestock here, and always will, I would say.
Well, if you want to see this farmstead, it's beautiful. Right at the junction of U.S. Route 33 and 180. You can tell from the traffic as it goes by. It's a popular place just out of Logan, Ohio. My guests have been Bill and Bill's mother, Elizabeth Shaw. The Shaw Farm, Century Farm of the Year for 1998 here in Ohio. When you can see all this, you can understand why. They call it barn replicas with a message. That's next on Agri Country.